Hi there. Well, it's time to look at crypto. Now, crypto, digital assets, they've been a matter of discussion for a long time, more than 10 years, and ever since 2020. And however, there's important milestones still happening with them. The Ethereum chain has still been upgraded, just gone through a Pectra upgrade. A chap by the name of Preston Van Loon headed up the engineering team. He's at a group called Off-Chain Labs, and if you want to learn more about that in particular, look at the Crypto 101 podcast. That's a really good podcast. Crypto 101 podcast, well worth a listen. And then the most recent one will take you through that, and then the one before will take you through a blockchain co-investors who've actually created the first AI podcast, 100% generated and spoken, called Block Talk AI podcast, which is very interesting too, and that's just AI characters talking about crypto. But my point, and the point of this podcast, is that as crypto exchanges, the currency, digital assets gain more and more utility and people do more and more business there, then the value of all those overall exchanges will go up in aggregate and more business will be done there. And the current aggregate value is about 3 trillion plus. Now, the fellows on there is quite entertaining, and they'll tell you the aggregate amount of crypto assets on a daily basis. Now, but the reason I bring this up is crypto basically trades 24/7/52, right? Unlike the stock market, so it is more interactive and dynamic from that point of view, and it's important to keep that in mind. As more business is done there, well, then we have to keep an eye on it because more business takes place there, then it becomes more useful to have knowledge of digital assets and crypto and to even potentially be involved to some degree. I'm not suggesting anyone buy or not, but certainly make yourself aware of it. And there's transparency issues there as well. It's very transparent in many ways. So you can basically see things get built from the ground up, especially on Ethereum, which as an L1, which is what the initial blockchain of Ethereum is called, L1, they've never been down. They've been up 100% of the time since they went up. You can click onto YouTube, click onto Off-Chain Labs and actually see them talking quite transparently about what they're doing and what the future holds, so on and so forth, and get a concept from people like Preston Van Loon about why he thinks that settlements in crypto in particular will need to be done by Ethereum moving forward, but obviously there are people who hold the contrary view. If you've got an overall sector worth 3 trillion US and going north, with millions of people involved, now ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think, then the reality is there's a drag of human activity, a drag of business into this sector, the digital sector, if you like, the crypto sector, that makes it inescapable. So those people, so you have a threshold question, should you look at crypto? You have to answer yes to that. Hence the name of this podcast. It's time to look at crypto because the upgrades, the aggregate size of the entire sector being north of 3 trillion, and the number of people in it make it such that you need to be mindful of it. You need to be aware of it. You need to inform yourself. There's a couple of interesting cryptos that I've picked up on the Solana, one of which is called Pengu, the Pudgy Penguins NFT people. And they seem to be doing multiple deals. I'm just sort of keeping an eye on it to see what they do. But it looks interesting. There's another one called Infinite Money Glitches, which is a sort of rewards coin, which taxes you on the way in and out. So you get sort of dividends in Solana, which is interesting. But once again, just a research project for me. But it's worth having a look at these sorts of things because more human activity, more business is being done on the blockchain in the digital sector as its aggregate size goes up, as its utility goes up, and as digital natives, people familiar with computers, more and more work there or do things there on the blockchain because it's 24/7/52. It's there to maximize utility in terms of time when you do things and also the fees that you pay. So you've got more time to do things than regular fiat currencies and you have less fees, right? So it's all about your utility. So what is the time to look at crypto? The time to look at crypto is now. Definitely the threshold for that question has been met to say yes. Crypto is here. It has arrived, and it's not going anywhere. Thanks.